Good morning, friends. Today we'll cover exercise 7 of this tutorial series on Java serialization. So we have got exercise 7, a class which implements serializable, and it has got two private fields. One is marked as transient as name, and we have got initialized as John, and another field as age, which is an integer, which is also assigned at the same time, 20. And now we have got this instance initializer block where we are again setting this two variables, name and age. And we have got this constructor in which we are again setting some variables for this name and age. Now let's go to the main method. In the main method, this block is for serializing it, and this is to read it back. Now here, let's go to the serialization part, that we are creating a file output stream for this file name, and then we create this object as a constructor, and then we override this age variable as 40, and then finally we write this object to the object output stream using write object method. After this, we serialize it in the same method. We deserialize it, and using object input stream, we read this file, and then we read this object back, customize it back to the exercise 7, and then we print out these two variables, name and age. So this is all about it. So let's go through it again. Variables here, instance initializer block here, and a constructor. So what is the result? Choose all that apply. Compilation fails, exception is thrown at runtime, or if these two are not the cases, then what should be the output? Is it based on the constructor variable or the instance variable or something else? So just pause the video here, try it on your own until we come back with the solution. Okay, now I hope that you have solved the problem on your own. Now let's look at the solution. Let's go with the first, compilation and exception, right? For compilation, I don't think there should be any problem because I don't think any syntax error is there. And for the exception as well, I think everything. And for the exception, I don't think there should be any exception because all this we are writing to the output stream properly and reading it back. So also this instance block is also looking good. So I don't think there should be any compilation failure or any runtime exception. So let's run this and let's see what should be the output. So I'm going to run it now. Okay, the answer is null and 40. So which comprises of this. Answer should be G. Now let's look at why it should be name is coming as null and 40. So as we have learned in our previous tutorials that when we serialize or deserialize, constructors are not called, or not even the initializer blocks are called. So so let's go through this, that what is serialized and what is the state that time. When we call this constructor here, let me put it down so that it's easier to view. Okay, so once we create this constructor, at that time, the name and age are initialized as David and 31. Okay. And before this constructor is called, we have super blocks and everything. And in the order of this serialization, then before this David and 31 is set, the first thing that will happen is that the name would be set as John and 20. After that, it would be Peter and 15. But as soon as the constructor starts here, it will overwrite all these things to David and 31. So at this point of time, after this statement, the exercise 7 would be having the name as David and age as 31. After this, the age is set as 40. So when we write this object, at this time, exercise 7 object, this is having name as David and age as 40. So this is what it is serialized. Sorry, I forgot about one very important point here, that name will never be serialized because it is marked as transient. So while we write this object, although the state of this exercise 7 is David and 40, only age would be serialized as 40. name is transient, so it will not be a part of serialization process. And once we deserialize it back, again this time nothing is called, no constructor, no initialization block, nothing. So at this time, we already knew that the name is transient, that's why it should be coming back as null, and age was marked as 40, which just before this right object is called, that's why the age is coming as 40. That's why option G is correct. Guys, this was all about exercise 7. In the next video, we'll see exercise 8. So stay tuned.